Let's get Ben in here, coming off his best result in Roland Garros. Now he's in Stuttgart for the ATP 250. We've had him on before. Say hello to Ben Shelton. Ben, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Jeff, Tracy,
What's up, guys?
Nick.
What's up, man?
I don't know, how's life? How's Stuttgart? And how pleased were you with your Roland Garros run? Obviously, you ran into a guy named Carlos Alcaraz midway through.
Yeah, all good in here in Stuttgart. It was rainy, the last 3 or 4 days. Hurt practice a little bit, but this tournament, main draw starting today, and it's sunny the rest of the week. Good weather, so looking forward to it. And yeah, great tournament in Roland Garros. Obviously, it's cool for me to now have made the second week of every slam, and it's the most comfortable I felt on the clay court. It's the most effective I felt on a clay court, and yeah. I was kind of telling my dad, joking with my dad, this is the first time that I finished the clay court season. And I'm like, low-key, not ready for it to be over yet.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And Ben, thanks for joining us, big dog. I know you were talking about it on clay kind of last year. You kind of felt like you were on ice skates. What do you think changed for you this year? How did you start to feel your footing a bit better?
Yeah, I think it's just experience.
Yeah.
I think it's experience, trusting yourself, feeling comfortable playing the longer points. It's like just the more reps you get, and having an open mindset is really important when playing on a surface that you're not quite as comfortable with or you don't have that much experience on. I kind of took this year to every time I played a good clay court, or even if I beat them, take something that they did really well and try to learn from it, whether it's Cerundolo or Navone, or obviously the pinnacle Alcaraz, the best clay court player in the world right now. And it's just there's little things, nuances that make players great on clay and effective on clay, and I'm trying to learn a few of those things. And yeah, some of it started to really come together in Paris.
Ben, my first question is, did you go home? Did you have time to kind of go back and refresh?
Yeah, I went home after Rome, actually. I spent about 46 minutes there.
46
and,
Layover?
That was a quick one. I was like, yeah, my man's got to go back to Orlando.
I don't know what my match time exactly was there, but it was short. So after that tournament, I went home, trained on actually green clay for like 9 days, and then flew to Paris. I'd been in Europe since the UTS event before Monte Carlo, so I knew at some point I wanted to break it up, and I always never felt great on the first few weeks of grass going home after Paris, so I tried something different this year. I worked in Paris, and I feel pretty fresh right now, so I'm happy with the decision.
Oh,
Hold on,
nice.
I got to ask him about the green clay. Why did you train on the green clay there in Lake Nona instead of the red clay?
Oh, we didn't go to Lake Nona.
Okay.
It was like 97 degrees.
Okay.
Something like that. So we ended up going to D.C.
Okay.
Fo was actually going to come to D.C. also, and then he ended up bailing on me.
Oh, come on now.
Scoop.
That's a shocker.
I know, he went and played Hamburg, so we were set up all these practices like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
What?
We're going to hit 2 hours each day, blah, blah.
And he just
he's
bailed
like,
on you.
bro, he bailed on me, so, but it was good. We got some good work in there, and then, flew like the Wednesday before Paris.
Nice.
Talk about the difference of the mindset of clay to grass. You've got this monster serve, and you feel so comfortable at the net. You've got the backhand slice. It seems like a tailor-made surface for you. How comfortable are you on this surface, and do you love it?
Yeah, I think naturally it suits my game really well. It has its challenges, of course, and I think for me, I have to be really committed to play well on the surface. If if I get static with my footwork, if I'm pulling up on my forehand, if I'm not committed to hitting backhands or going through the slice and being aggressive with it, rather than being defensive, I end up catching the ball late, shanking balls, and it's not a great formula for someone who's tentative or not committed to your shots. So when I'm playing full out, I'm playing aggressive tennis, I like my chances against anyone on a grass court, and I'm feeling more and more comfortable with the movement, taking less falls each year. So hopefully you guys see some high-level movement from me on this surface soon.
We're still buzzing off the final yesterday with Alcaraz and Sinner, and it was one of those moments where like a lot of people texting each other, even casual sports fans getting out to watch tennis. I feel like it was such a win for tennis because like a lot of people were tuning in. It was amazing. I'm curious for a player like you, you took the L against Alcaraz. I love hearing when other players are watching that match. Like, did you watch it? Were you smiling? Were you in awe? Were you enjoying it? What was going on during the final for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really the guy who sits there and watches the tournament after I'm out. You know, I maybe watch a different sport or not watch anything at all. For me, I turned it on at 6-5 in the fifth, and I was like, let's just see what this tiebreak's looking like.
Wow.
And I knew that there'd been the ups and downs. Sinner got tight, then Alcaraz got tight serving for the match, and it kind of got to the point where these guys were playing a baseline game. The serve was a non-factor. They were putting the serve in the box and going to war. And it was really entertaining. The points that they were having, every point was crazy. And for me, it was the tiebreaker that was the most insane. Those first 6 or 7 points from Alcaraz, you go back and you watch those, and you're like, that's some of the most clutch tennis I've seen at 6-all in the fifth in my life.
Yeah, Ben, I mean, you're playing against these guys. I mean, how are Sinner and Alcaraz changing the game? Are they changing the way that you practice? Are they changing the way that these players are starting to think about the game?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, you know, the way that they play from the ground, especially Sinner, I think guys are thinking a bit differently about going toe-to-toe with them. For me, I'm not really a guy who just rallies from the baseline, so I think it's a whole different matchup. Playing both of them, I've had a lot of chances recently, like sets that I didn't close out, set points on my racket, and, you know, they play the clutch points, the big points really, really well, and they make you earn it. And, you know, that's one big thing for me that I've kind of taken from those matches, one in Australia and one in the French. You know, once these guys get going, they can be a runaway train. So having set points in the first set against Alcaraz and Sinner, those ones stung. But I guess if you're going to lose to someone at a Grand Slam, you might as well lose to the back-to-back defending champion both times.
And there's just a few people in the world that have played both Sinner and Alcaraz, so you are one of those few. Take us into a seat for the Tennis Channel viewers of what it's like to play against Sinner. What is the type of ball you're receiving? What are you nervous about a shot that he's going to hit? And then Alcaraz, how their shots are different and what makes each so difficult to play?
Yeah, with Sinner, he hits a big ball, but he hits it big with margin. It's heavy. It's not like flat with underspin. It's heavy off both sides. It's obviously very clean. For me, I like the ball a little bit more up in the zone, so I don't mind, you know, his ball. I think that what a lot of players struggle with when playing him is at the beginning of the match, his speed can be overwhelming, and that was kind of the case with Alcaraz on yesterday. And once he kind of got used to the speed of play, he could start doing all of what he wanted to do. But I think that's the biggest thing with him. It's the constant ball speed off both wings, the ability to hit the open stance backhand on the run and not have to go to the slice. It's like having 2 forehands. And then he's a great server. He's a clutch server. He's a big server. And it seems like on your break points, he's always going to ace you. So that's one thing that I think is underrated for him sometimes, is how well he serves. And then with Alcaraz, he's a little bit different. He's okay with spinning the serve in the box sometimes and just starting the point. He can also go 135 and hit the ace, but he doesn't do that all the time. He has the heavy forehand, elite mover, great skills up at the net, and he can go lockdown mode from the baseline as well. So Carlos's tennis is a bit more like flashy, inject pace, change of speed. Maybe he's coming to net, you know, a little bit more predictable, and Sinner's more like, you know what he's going to do, but it's tough to do anything about it.
Yeah, we're reliving the highlight for like the 50th time already today. We've only been on the air for like an hour. It's hard not to make the similarity with you and Carlos that you both, I don't know, you both just like have a smile on your face when you play, and I feel like you both are kind of entertainers. And Carlos has actually talked about in the past that he can't help it, but sometimes he goes for the flashy shot because he wants to put on a show. Obviously, you both are gamers and you both have that competitive fire. Do you kind of feel that at all with your game ever? Like, are you ever balancing the fact of like wanting to put on a show because you love all other sports as well, but also, I don't know, maybe trying to keep it simple or just get the win? Is that ever in your mind at all when you're playing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I actually play better, and when I'm a little bit more free and I'm enjoying my tennis and I'm having fun and there are some hot shots and highlights, it gives me confidence. It helps me play better. If I'm staying focused at the same time and not getting too out of control, I think that if I try to be robotic and just stay locked in and not make an unforced error and not make a single mistake and make every tactical decision correctly, that's kind of not the formula for me. And certain players, that's how they thrive. That's how they play their best tennis. They go lockdown mode, and it's just like this the whole match. You know, Sinner definitely has that. I'd say Draper's kind of in that same category, and it's tough when you're playing a guy like that. But I think it's also tough on the other hand when you're playing a guy who's loving the game, who's enjoying themselves, who's hitting great shots, okay with the errors that they make sometimes, and having a crowd on their side. I think Alcaraz does a great job of that, and that's what made, even though it was a loss, our match so much fun at the French.
Yeah. Ben, obviously, when everybody watches you play, you're such a great athlete. I mean, I know I've seen you dunk a basketball. You can do it all. Did you play a lot of other sports growing up? Because I think a lot of juniors and a lot of kids, sometimes they focus on one sport and they give everything to that. But did you play other sports growing up to help you with that athleticism?
Yeah, for me, from a young age, my parents are just like, you're going to do everything. So from swimming to golf lessons when I was a little kid to
nice.
basketball, soccer, baseball, tennis, taekwondo. They put me in martial arts for 5 years. I mean, they made me do literally everything. Yeah. Some I loved, some I hated. But I think that it was all good for me. Yeah. All things that I learned how to play on a team. The social skills, playing for something bigger than yourself. Yeah. As you guys know, it can be, one, lonely on the tennis tour, and two, feel very self-centered. You have the team that revolves around you. It's all about you, and it's like, okay, that's not really reality in the real world. So for me, it was great to get all those experiences to help develop my athletic ability, but also develop as a person. And I don't know, maybe that's not the path for everyone, but certainly the best path for me.
I think it is the path for everyone, Ben. I think your parents have done a phenomenal job. And for your dad to be your coach, I mean, just parents-wise, forget the tennis, but then also for Brian, who was so successful in his own career, to be your coach. I was wondering how you find that balance, because you guys travel together, you're on the court together. Do you have a formula as far as, okay, we're going to talk for 30 minutes after practice or before practice, and then the rest we're going to just be dad and son? What is that formula? Or maybe there isn't one.
Yeah, there's not really a formula. It's kind of natural. I mean, we have a great relationship. There's no pressures. We have the same goals. We want to be the best. We want to put in a perfect effort every day. We don't need to be perfect, but we want our effort to be. We have the same mindset about a lot of things. Obviously, it's not like, okay, we're on court together, we're on the site together, and then we go back and we go to dinner together. And no, he does his own thing. A lot of times I do my own thing, and it's kind of the same when we're at home. And we've figured out how to really manage the relationship and keep things fresh and keep respect in the relationship. And I think that it's important that I respect him as a father, which I do very much, and also as a coach. I respect his tennis mind, how he was as a player, and I think that a lot of people in the world respect him as a great tennis mind. So I think it's more difficult if you have a parent who's not really a coach or expert in the field and they're trying to coach you. Then it gets a little tough because you're like, you don't even know anything. So if you don't respect them as a coach, then it creates some friction. But I know that most of the time when he's saying something, it's something that I should listen to.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's cool. We've had his perspective on as well. We've had Brian on a couple of times. Your girlfriend is a soccer star. She's an athletic baller. I was curious because, it's an individual sport, but, you have a team and you have the box. And I don't know how many events Trinity has been to. How new is she to tennis? has she got a kick out of kind of like just understanding the culture of the sport? And also, the box is kind of a precious thing where, you know, some people yell at their box, some people just want fist pumps. Like, has that been cool and different in a way, not only for you, but for your coach and for Brian to kind of be hanging out with Trinity and watch your matches together?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's obviously a lot different atmosphere. You know, there's some when you're on a team and all the people are kind of like your best friends. She's come to the tennis events and kind of been like, oh, like, why did none of the girls talk to each other? Or like, why does it seem like no one is really saying anything to each other or kind of just doing their own thing or being within their team? She's kind of been surprised by that, and I've been like, I guess, you know, it's different than normal sports because all the people you're hanging out with are also your competitors.
Right.
And then on the other end of it, you have me and Fo cracking jokes all the time. So it's a funny dynamic. But yeah, being able to go to some of her sports or soccer games and her come to some of mine, it's been cool to kind of see the different crossovers within the sports. And yeah, I use my box a lot. I'm probably a player that looks at them a lot compared to the average of the tour. I, you know, use them for energy throughout the match. I have a lot of high energy people in my box, and it's just something I love. I like it feeling like it's not just me out there, and when my team feels really into it as well, which I have a lot of guys who love it, are passionate about it, and wear those emotions on their sleeve.
Well, Ben, we're going to let you go. You got the winner of Demir Zoomer and Pierre-Yves Herbert. Have you played either one of these guys, and what are you most looking forward to getting started there in Stuttgart?
No, I've never played either one of them. I've watched them both a little bit. I actually didn't watch Zoomer's match against Alcaraz at the French, but saw in the comments on Instagram, some of them were saying like in that one set he was playing like 0-5 Fed. So that could be a problem on a grass court, I guess, if he's playing like 0-5 Fed. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Either way, I lost first round here last year, or second round, but I had a bye, and I'm always, you know, looking to go a step further than what I did in the year before. So hopefully I could start a little run here, and yeah, looking forward to that first match.
Yeah. And Ben, one last question. We're still looking for that football throw with Chiz. He says that he can beat you.
You baited me into
Chiz
that.
said he's got you. I'm like, nah.
You baited me into that. What are you?
Ben, I'm taking you.
How far can you throw it, Ben?
You guys, I don't know exactly how far I could throw it, but all I know is that it was like we said the time 2 or 2:30 p.m. and then Chiz was like, "Oh, I'm going to play golf."
Yeah, exactly.
So,
my man, guy didn't show
I'm not the
up.
one who ran. I was there, so next time, if you want to set it up next year at Indian Wells, I'll give you a year to train, and we could do it.
Yeah, I'm even honored.
You got to get him a ticket too. He's got to get in the spot. He's got to, you know.
I'm even honored that I'm welcome for that. I got baited into the whole thing, but I appreciate you being a good sport about it.
Chiz is going to be doing some shoulder exercises between now and then.
Yeah.
I'm a washed athlete, but I can sling it. All right, I'll be ready to go.
No, he's probably got me. I'll probably give the edge to him.
Yeah.
He's what?
Downplaying it.
We're sponsored by BetMGM. We'll get the odds. Yo, we really appreciate you coming on. I know you haven't started there, but I don't know. This just makes our show cool when we get players there in the hotel giving us the insight. So appreciate you stopping by. Best of luck in Stuttgart.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.